This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Tim Daniel, lifelong Reds fan on my second season here at Locked On, and I want to thank you for spending some time with me on this beautiful Memorial Day as we discuss the Cincinnati Reds 7-2 victory over the New York Mets. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel, where new customers can bet just $5 and get up to $150 in bonus bets. On tonight's show, we're going to talk about the fact that the offense exploded today. We got some homers. We got a lot of fun there. Nick Lodolo has his most promising start of the season, and a Eugenio Suarez back in the lineup just feels like it makes everything a little different. And hey, before I get started with the show, can anyone in the chat please give me a thumbs up to let me know audio's working fine today? Anyone? Just please real quick. And then I'll get started on the show. All right. Awesome. Thank you all so much. I do definitely appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for that. I've been working to figure out what's been going on with my internet. It's been not fun. So we're now back on track there, and that's good to see. So how about the offense today? I know it's only 6 hits, but 7 runs today in a day where the Reds are coming off of having a lot of rain delays and having a couple nights, being off 2 out of 3 days, and they go out there and they take care of business. And it was so nice to see. Let's just kind of go down the lines real quick. So here's the big thing I want to jump out about this today. They got nothing from their 1 and 2 hitters today, and they still managed to put 7 runs on the board. Not often we get to say that for this team, especially because, number 2 is Elly De La Cruz, and obviously had a bad day today. Guess what? Guys are going to have bad days, so it just is what it is. But you got a J.J. Bleday home run today. That was awesome. I really liked it. Willie Massey, loved the lineup today. Loved it. So J.J. Bleday hits a home run. Nathaniel Lowe hits a home run today. Spencer Steer has a huge day, again, with 3 runs batted in, only having 1 hit. But you know what? I'd love to see what he's doing there. I felt like today the offense, it just seemed like their at-bats were more comfortable. It seemed like they were more smooth. And obviously you're playing against a Mets team who is really underperforming and has disappointed a lot of people, including their fan base. But they see the Reds go out there and just handle their business and do what they had to do, making at-bats really difficult for the Mets pitching staff. That was really nice to see as well. I mean, they chased Noel McLean AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys, with 3 1/3. He had, so that was really, really impressive. And obviously when you can get to their bullpen, you know that you have a good chance. Now they obviously didn't put a whole lot more on the board, if at all, if I remember correctly. Excuse me, let me pull the box score. They didn't get anything else the rest of the day, but the fact that they went out there and chased the starter made them use a lot of their bullpen on a 3-game set as I get comfortable here. Just kind of makes you feel good about the series. Obviously, the Mets aren't the Mets that people thought they were, myself included. Bo Bichette struggled. Obviously, Juan Soto's been in and out of the lineup. They're using a lot of rookies right now, but to see the Reds just go out there and this is where it's nice. This is beating teams you're supposed to beat. You're more than likely better than New York Mets, even though their roster looks pretty darn good on paper. And you go out there and handle it and do the first game of the set on the road in Queens. You gotta really appreciate it. So shout out the Reds there as well. And I just really like the fact that, Sal Stewart was mentioned a couple times in the chat, and obviously we're all big fans. He had 2 strikeouts today, but I just really feel like he just does such a good job of working counts and making pitchers use extra pitches. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and strike out on 3. He's not going to have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. He's just going to battle. And he did that again today. Also, Tyler Stephenson didn't even mention this, wearing the high socks today and pulling a home run. Pretty awesome. Really, really nice to see. And it feels like the Reds are it feels like that stench of that really bad run when they had that 8-game losing streak is finally starting to go away. And they feel like they're winning games again. I'm not going to say that they're not flawed by any stretch of the matter. But to see them stacking wins right now is really nice to see. Winners of 4 of their last 5, like No Refrigeration says here in the chat. Maybe they can get things going again. They're above the Pirates. The Cubs are on a 9-game losing streak right now. Maybe this is how they get back into it. And we shall see. But I do want to talk about Nick Lodolo because I thought Nick Lodolo was really good today. Let's get to the turning point in today's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Today, in the 4th inning, the Reds put 4 runs on the board, and that's what put it away. JJ Bleday hits, Spencer Steer has a 2 RBI single. I can't get my stuff straight. And then Tyler Stephenson hits a 2-run home run, puts them up 7-0. And the Mets were not able to recover, even though they did put 2 runs on the board, but were never able to catch the Reds. Nick Lodolo looked like Nick Lodolo today. And I think if we're talking about this Reds team as they're recovering from everything, that is a game changer for this team. That's the guy they need until they can get Hunter Green back, while they have Chase Burns being incredibly dominant. I mean, just a really, really awesome day for him. So first quality start of the year with 6 innings, has 7 strikeouts, does give up 6 hits, does give up a solo shot to Marcus Semien. But this is the thing that really jumps out the most to me is, he kind of battled control for a decent amount of the game and still managed to not walk anybody. Does hit 2 batters. I think it was both of them were Carson Benji. He hit twice on a curveball, so obviously not intentional. But this is what the Reds need from him. They need that Nick Lodolo, the Nick Lodolo we all thought he was going to be. And obviously, like I said in his last start, it was going to take time because he was kind of doing his spring training innings right now, right? He was gone for a long time. He was trying to figure out when he was going to get going again. He has the blister issue again. He had to leave a rehab start early. So to see him kind of settle back in and get back to his old self is nice, because look, his next start is going to be against a really good Atlanta Braves team. So he's going to have some competition there. And I'm really, really excited to see that as well. Yeah, Pierre mentioned the Speedo. The bit with Brantley and Sadak today talking about that was so funny during the broadcast. It's a fun day to be a Reds fan, and it's been really awesome. And one thing about this team I'm really loving right now is something just feels different when Gino's in the lineup. Something just feels different when Eugenio Suarez is out there. So we're going to talk about that and more right after this. But first, this episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are here and every possession matters. If you're looking to get even closer to the action, FanDuel has a great offer to get you started. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right, turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. You can check stats, trends, and matchups before making your pick, which makes the whole experience feel a lot more informed. It's a really easy app to navigate, and it makes playoff basketball even more engaging from start to finish. Unless you're a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, because tonight it is over. But I will move on because I have all my Reds everydayers here who can make me feel better about my NBA team ending their season tonight. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel, play your game. Want to give a quick shout out to our everydayers as always here on the Postcast. Thank you so much for spending some time with me each and every day as we discuss all things Cincinnati Reds and all these great wins that we've had of late, 4 of the last 5. And if you were just now becoming a big part of this show, you can also go join the Everydayer Club. The Everydayer Club is $5 a month or $50 a year, and you get access to ad-free episodes of all your favorite Locked On shows. So if you're just a big Tim Daniel fan, and who isn't, right? You can check me out on Locked On Reds and Locked On Cats for the Postcast and Squad show over there as well, with Chastity Melvin, Danny Cunningham, and more coming soon. Or if you say you want to check out Locked On Bengals with James Rapine and Jake Lisco, you've got that over there as well. All good things here on the Locked On group that we love to have. All right. So I'm going to do this a little different than I have in the past. First, I'm going to do an X Factor, and then I'll end the show with the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
Eugenio Suarez is back in the lineup, and something just switches when Eugenio Suarez is back. The switch just comes on when he's there. So here's what I'm going to say by that. This might not necessarily be apples to apples as I say this, but when he's on the team, when he's in the lineup, when he's available, it just feels different, right? So like, look at, his numbers weren't great in April, but they were winning games, right? They were 20-11 at the end of the month. And the 8-game losing streak, he's not available, right? They're trying to figure out what's going on with his oblique. He goes to the IL during the losing streak, and they lose 8 straight. And then they go and, they drop that. That wasn't the Astros series. The next series after that, they drop with the National Series that they really should have won. They were, but I digress. And then you get Gino back on Saturday, and you do lose that Cardinals game that he plays in, but you win the night game and the doubleheader. And then he comes out there today, and I don't know. I know he didn't hit any tanks. I know he didn't hit any homers, but 2 really nice hits. Andrew a walk today. Does cross the home plate twice for 2 runs. It's just different when he's there. Maybe it's just the threat of having him in the lineup. Maybe it's just the fact that they have that vet they can go to, a guy who's seen it all, done it all. He's played in a World Series. He's, been to the playoffs many of times in his career, not with the Reds, obviously. One time with the Reds, if you want to call it that. But a guy who's played in big baseball games before. So, and a guy who really knows how to hit home. I mean, just knows how to hit. And we're going to see what he can do, the rest of the way. Hopefully they can keep him healthy, because he just makes so many things special for this team. And you just absolutely need a guy like that. All right, now we'll get to the Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I know it was only 1 hit today, but 3 RBI for Spencer Steer just really gave the Reds a lot. I mean, the bottom of the order today in general. So they get 5 RBI from Spencer Steer and Tyler Stephenson. That's been really nice to see. The bottom of the order kind of stepping up. Spencer Steer is a guy who you can bat basically anywhere in the lineup. Obviously, we all know about his ability to play multiple positions in the field. But to see him kind of also become that guy who you can bat second in the lineup, you can bat fourth in the lineup, you can bat him 7th. He doesn't care. He just wants at bats. You want me to play left field? I'll play left field. You want me to DH today? I'll DH. You want me to play somewhere in the infield? I can do it. I know Dave Magrum, who's an everydayer in the chat, likes to always say Spencer's his first baseman, and he's definitely their best first baseman. This is a guy who was a Gold Glove candidate last year. By the way, if anyone so happens to come across a Spencer Steele bobble card on Saturday, I can't go to the game, and you love me so much you want to send me one, holla at your boy. I will send Venmos if you are able to track one down for me. If not, don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself out and just enjoy your day with your family Saturday at the ballpark. But having a guy like Steer, who you can just rely on for anything and everything, who's just a total team player, who obviously, like we saw in the Giants series in April, has no shame in challenging the opposition and putting pressure on them. You need a guy like that in your team. And you just need a guy who just understands his role is, I can be doing anything. Like, the Reds have had these guys in the past, don't get me wrong. I just don't think they've had a guy necessarily like Spencer's hitting right now. Like, I know we all loved Ryan Friels, member of the Reds. He wasn't a power guy like this. We all love the, multiple guys we've seen that have been in that situation, and they just don't give them what he does right now. And so I just want to make sure he gets his flowers today. Really big hit. Love everything he's given this team right now. It's been a really, really big, nice pleasure to see him kind of step up for this team. Want to make mention of one more thing before we close out today. Blake Dunn leading off. I don't know how long Blake Dunn's going to hit really well. He didn't get a hit today. He did get hit by a pitch. So he got on, he did get on base in some extent. But I'm willing to ride this until the wheels fall off. I don't know when that's going to be. I don't know if it will at all. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe he's just really figured it out and he's brought his momentum from AAA back for this stint with the big leagues. That would be ideal. But right now, I think he's their best option as a center fielder. Him and Dane Myers, I feel like what they've been doing at the outfield of late with Myers and Dunn and you name it, whoever they put in right field, sometimes it is Dunn, sometimes it's, I feel like that's going to give them their best bet. And I know that means that TJ Friedel's the odd man out, but realistically, I don't know if they have a choice if they want to win games, whether than TJ Friedel will be the odd man out. And so to see Blake Dunn kind of go out there and get that chance today to be the leadoff hitter, I really enjoyed it. And I know he didn't have the best day at the plate. But he really won that game for them on Saturday, like we talked about on that postcast. And so hopefully he can kind of keep this going. I think that would just be perfect for this Reds team as they try to get the ball rolling and get back on track. But today they are victors. We will celebrate it on this beautiful Memorial Day, or this rainy one if you're in Cincinnati. And we will go ahead and enjoy our evening as the Reds are victors today over the New York Mets 7-2. The Reds have 7 runs on 6 hits and no errors. The Mets have 2 runs on 9 hits and no errors. Nick Lodolo gets his first one of the year. He's now 1-1 with a 5.57 ERA. Noel McLean takes his 4th loss. He is now 2-4 with a 4.40. And the Reds are back at it tomorrow at 7:10 in Queens as Chase Burns takes the hill. You guys know I love Chase Burns Day. I did not take down the Everydayer overlay, so that is my fault. But yes, Chase Burns Day is here tomorrow. We're going to see him. The Mets, according to the MLB app, have not announced the pitcher yet, so I don't know what that means for them, but we shall see. But I will be here regardless at the end of the game. Everyone, thank you so much for taking some time to hang out with me as always. I'm Tim Daniel. Have a great rest of your Memorial Day. Go Redlegs, and I will see you tomorrow.